Welcome to the TNYK show. I am your host, Mike, better known as Mo. Here's where you get the truth uncut. Today, we're going to just take a walk down memory lane. We're going to look at the Maryland dad. We're going to look at an interview with Byron Donalds, a congressman of Florida. And we're going to look at Ilhan the Khan and her claiming she's not a millionaire. So as always, if you like and enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and share. Let's get into this.
On a cold November day in 2022, the THP pulled over a van with 10 people. The driver was Kilmar Obrega Garcia. You may recognize his name. He's the man deported to an El Salvadorian prison. Now, the Supreme Court says he was illegally deported, but the Trump administration says he is an MS-13 gang member who is not coming back to the U.S. Andy Cordan just got some revealing video of a recent traffic stop involving this man. Andy.
And of course, we know that they wound up bringing him back. He is now released and what have you. But you should find this very interesting, him getting stopped by the state troopers and how this situation was handled. And I find it very ironic and funny that the Democrats are fighting for a guy like this. And I wish you all would go back, and I wish I had that story where one of the congressmen went over to, I believe it was Venezuela, and had margaritas with him while he was in prison. At least they made it look that way.
Hey there, Haley. You know, this all started when the THP stops Kilmar Abrego Garcia for speeding on I-40 near Cookeville. November 30th, 2022, a Tennessee highway patrolman stops this Suburban with Texas tags.
How are you? Good, and you? All right. Everything good? You got a bunch of people here, don't you? It's 146, yes.
That's Kilmar Abrego Garcia behind the wheel. Then 27 years old, he speaks only broken English.
Where are you working at? Where? Where? San Luis, Missouri. Missouri? Yes, sir.
Troopers discover his Maryland license is expired.
So where do y'all live at?
Where are you living? I live in Maryland.
Maryland?
The 27-year-old will tell the officer all 10 people in this SUV are working construction in Missouri.
10 people in an SUV. 10 people. How is that even possible?
And now they're all headed to Maryland.
Whose car is it?
This is my boss.
Your boss. Does anybody else have a driver's license?
Driver license?
Yeah.
No, I do.
Nobody?
Only me. So.
By this time, a second trooper arrives.
You know what you got here, right?
This officer suspects Abrego Garcia is a human trafficker.
He's hauling these people for money. So he's getting paid to haul these people, probably to Maryland, I would say. They don't have any luggage in there, right? And if you get them out, they're going to have a toothpaste and they're going to have toothbrushes in their pockets, I guarantee it.
The 27-year-old will deny having any guns or weapons.
Nothing illegal?
Nothing, sir.
No drugs or anything?
By this time, many more officers are on scene.
He's hauling people. He's got 8 or 9 in there now. 9 or 10 getting paid to haul here. That's what he's doing.
During the traffic stop, THP officials tell News 2 the agency contacted both the FBI and Homeland Security. Neither federal agency responded to the scene.
How is this? You have a man, expired license, suspended license, no one in the vehicle with IDR license, and you have 10 people, what should be no more than a 8-seat vehicle.
Toward the end of the stop, officers talk to other passengers. There's an obvious language barrier, and nobody has an ID.
Identification? No? Identification? No identification?
And according to a Homeland Security report, because there were no violations or crimes committed, the vehicle and all its passengers, they were all released. Back to you guys.
The FBI nor did immigration show up. And this was in 2022. Who was president? Who ran the FBI? Who ran the immigration department? It all was up under the leadership of Joe Biden. Wow. These are the kind of things that went on during Joe Biden's term, the illegitimate president. This is what went on during his term. And it's sad. It's sad that things like this was happening right in our face. And no one did anything to stop it. No one did anything to stop it. This is utterly ridiculous. But it's how it is in America. Just walking down memory lane. Like I say, this guy, the Maryland dad, is free right now walking around the United States of America through these crooked courts and the crooked court system. Let's look at Byron Donald's interview with Wolf over here at CNN. Check this out.
You're watching a special edition of the Situation Room. Right now, we're getting new reaction up on Capitol Hill to Donald Trump's arrest and arraignment on 34 felony charges in Manhattan. For more on that, I want to bring in Republican Congressman Byron Donalds of Florida. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. What was your reaction, Congressman, seeing the former president under arrest in court today in New York and learning of these 34 felony counts?
I mean, look, honestly, Wolf, I thought it was a tragedy. I thought it was a joke. Even in this indictment, which a lot of people have had to read now because it's not very long, they don't even cite the actual felony charge. They're saying it has something to do with the 2016 elections. He was trying to subvert the elections in some new crazy scheme. They're citing bookkeeping in the state of New York as the layup into these felony charges, but they actually don't cite the charge.
The charges of Donald Trump is public record. Have you all went and read it? Have you all went and got a true understanding of what the charges are? No, they just throw out there, he's been charged for 34 counts. And that's it, that's all. 34 counts. But of what? That all stem from him and a ledger, and him putting something down is one thing, as legal fees where it was hush money to Stormy Daniels, which is not a crime. Giving money to someone for hush money is not a crime.
So what are you supposed to do with that? I mean, it's clear that Alvin Bragg was on a mission to indict Donald Trump, and so that's how we got to where we are. But you say 34 felonies, but what are we actually talking about?
Well,
what are the actual charges? The indictment does not speak to it.
The prosecutors argue in this indictment that Trump's goal was to hide damaging information. That's a direct quote, damaging information from American voters just ahead of the 2016 election. Doesn't that concern you?
Time out. At what point is trying to either, actually, here's a better question for you, Wolf. Hillary Clinton spent $1 million on a fake dossier citing that he was a Russian plant. We all know that to be true. So it's okay to spend $1 million of campaign cash to create a phony dossier to secrete through the media to tilt the 2016 elections. But now we're going to say that there are booking irregularities about an NDA agreement between him and somebody else, and that's now hiding stuff from the people. I mean, this is a joke. It's a ridiculous. This is why this is a political persecution of Donald Trump.
These were campaign violations. What he was trying to do in paying off 130.
So was it not campaign irregularities when Hillary Clinton took $1 million of campaign funds to draw up a fake dossier? That if it had been believable and provable, that it could have indicted Donald J. Trump, and we found out it all was false and made up? That there is no problem. But Donald Trump took his own money and paid Stormy Daniels, and that's a crime.
$1,000 to Stormy Daniels.
Wolf, even the FEC looked at this, and the FEC said there's nothing to see here. The Department of Justice looked at this. They said there's nothing to see here. Last time I checked, Alvin Bragg does not sit on the FEC. He's not somebody who's steeped in election law. He's a local prosecutor in Manhattan, where, by the way, he's actually downgraded of violent felonies in Manhattan. So the people of Manhattan aren't as safe as they should be in their own streets.
And let me share with you what he just said. Alvin Bragg, the prosecutor of New York City, the head prosecutor, has now downgraded certain crimes. So what that means is that what you used to get for committing certain acts, like say carjacking. Carjacking, it used to be where you were guaranteed to do 3 years. Now you can go do that same carjacking and may not do a day. That's what downgrading is. So guess what that does? Oh, I can do 1 or 2 carjackings and I won't do a day? Where before, if I do a carjacking, I'm guaranteed 2 years if I'm found guilty. That's what downgrading is. And this is what these prosecutors and these attorney generals and others are doing in our country and our local governments. When they are downgrading, that means they are making the cities less safe. Please understand that.
That is not even his jurisdiction. So he piles that into this indictment, which frankly doesn't even really cite what he's talking about, except the 2016 elections. And we're supposed to sit here and take this seriously? No, this is politics, and it's gross politics. This is the type of thing that the American people don't want to see. Look, you can have disagreements between Republicans and Democrats. I have strong opinions of my own. But to say that you're going to shoehorn some phony situation into a felony indictment or 34 felony indictments, that is a stretch. That is a kangaroo court.
Well, that's what the prosecutors are alleging. We'll see what happens when there's a trial at the end of this year or early next. The judge today warned both sides, Congressman, against inciting violence after prosecutors argued that Trump made direct threats through a social media post. Does the former president need to speak carefully at Mar-a-Lago tonight?
Look, I think if I were in his shoes, I would be very clear about how this is a political persecution of himself being the leading candidate for the presidency of the United States. I would speak to that. And then the thing that I would also do is make sure people understand that we have to get our country back to law and order and actually following the law, not creating the law just to suit our own interests. That's where he should stay and talk about his record when he was president of the United States and how that is a far superior record than that of Joe Biden, which everybody basically knows.
How worried are you about these other criminal investigations that are underway right now, whether in Georgia or in Florida?
Look, the one thing I am concerned about is where you have prosecutors now who want to, get their 15 minutes, who try to come up with some novel legal theories about trying to raise indictments. I'm very concerned about that. But if you want to speak to the stuff going on in Georgia, the stuff going on in D.C., where they're still trying to blame what happened on January 6th squarely at Donald Trump as if he ordered people into the Capitol, the facts dictate that never happened. He ordered nobody. He organized nothing. Those are the fact patterns. We looked at that in the Oversight Committee, frankly, before Nancy Pelosi shut down the Oversight Committee. But we'll move on from that. I'm not as concerned about what they actually might legally come up with. I'm much more concerned that they're going to do what Alvin Bragg has done in Manhattan. It's atrocious.
All right, Congressman Byron Donalds of Florida, thanks very much for joining us.
And there you go, 34 counts. But what are they? We have no clear picture of where those 34 counts come from. Made up bullshit. And that's what it is, just made up bullshit. And you know what I find so ironic? How the liberals use black people to do their dirty work. They use Alvin Bragg's black man, Letitia, I lie to James, black woman, Fannie. I wanted to say something, but Fannie Willis, black women and a black man. Why do they use? When are we going to get tired of being used? When are we, as those on the outside, when are we going to say, niggas, why don't y'all stop? Stop being used by these white people. And when they're being used by white people, guess what's happening? When it's not to our being blacks benefit. Please understand that. It's not to our benefit, the things that they're doing. The things that they're doing is not to our benefit. But they're using blacks in order to carry out their dirty work. Let's get to the woman of the hour. Ilhan the Khan. Let's check her out right here.
I'm pretty sure at this point, this politician's only goal is to piss off the right.
And according to Ilhan Omar, white men are the biggest danger to America.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
Imagine a different person saying that about Muslim men or black men or Hispanic men.
Wow. Wow. She just said that the country should be scared and concerned about white men across the country. I'm trying to understand, Ilhan the Khan. Really? They should be concerned about white men across the country. They are causing death in our country. In our country, they are causing death. Let's check out something here. I'm just trying to make it make sense. Wait a minute. It says what? Wait a minute. Let me just bring this up just a little bit. Just so you can see what the caption is in the bottom. Oh, hold on. This one here. Let's bring it up just a little bit. Wait a minute. It says, who is Ilhan Omar's husband? What? That's your husband? Wait a minute, Ilhan, you just said white men are the one. Your husband don't only look white, he look Jewish. You can't make this stuff up. He looks Jewish. Wow. Wow, Ilhan. So, you found you a good white man. You found you a good one. You found you one that ain't dangerous to society. You found one that ain't causing death in America. Con woman. You just can't make it up. This is utterly ridiculous. Who's listening to this woman? Who believes that this woman has any type of credibility? Who believes that? Wow. So let's get into, let's read some stuff here about Ilhan. Ilhan the Khan. Check this out about Ilhan the Khan. So here's what it says here. It says, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's net worth has increased up to 30 million, despite her claiming she isn't a millionaire, according to the reports. Omar and her husband, Tim Minette, have a net worth between 6 million to 30 million, according to their 2025 disclosure. A Washington Free Beacon reported earlier this year. They reported it, but she said she's not a millionaire. But they reported their net worth between those ranges. But you're not a millionaire. Disclosures from the end of 23 show the pair had ownership stake that only added up to the value of just above $51,000. Omar has denied Omar has denied that she has had an increase in wealth since being elected to Congress, at one point stating that she was not a millionaire. So, Ilhan, what is it, Miss Khan woman? What is it? So let's just look at something here, a statement that she made, how this woman is just so arrogant, so disingenuous, and she believes she's blowing smoke up the public's ass. All right, now let's go over here to Fox News, Fox Business, and see what Forbes got to say about Miss Ilhan the Khan and her financial situation.
Okay, that was far-left Congresswoman Ilhan Omar claiming the Justice Department and Congress probing her sudden skyrocketing wealth to $30 million in just 1 year, that they have a problem with her living the American dream. You heard her say the goddamn United States of America. We've got new questions on where she and her husband got all that money. Joining us now, Forbes Media Chair, Editor-in-Chief Steve Forbes. Steve, new information coming in, and Forbes magazine, your magazine, has reported this too, that the state of Delaware and Washington, D.C. canceled the registrations for Omar's husband's investment firm, Rose Lake, for not paying its back taxes. We saw it owed more than $400,000 to Delaware and nearly $1,800 to D.C. She's claiming it's worth $25 million from less than $1,000 a year before. How can his investment firm not afford to pay taxes? It's supposedly worth an estimated $75 million to $150 million. This is really weird stuff.
Well, weird is not the word for it. There's another word for it called crooked. And that's why we have to have an investigation into this. As you know, the Biden administration started examining her finances and that of her husband. And so surprise, surprise, that investigation went nowhere. But it's amazing how people can go into Congress.
What happened, Joe? What happened to your cabinet? What happened to your administration? How did it go nowhere? That was in 22. We're now in 26. And Donald Trump and his people had to pick the ball up. This woman should have been charged. And she hasn't been charged yet, but we'll see.
And then become these entrepreneurial investing geniuses where they come in. She had under $1,000 of net worth and her husband didn't have much, and suddenly now they're multimillionaires. Is there a money laundering operation here? And in terms of the firms themselves, they have a sketchy background. That winery in California that she and her husband own, where did that come from? Where's the wine there? And nobody can seem to find it. So there's a lot of smelly stuff here, and that's why in the American Dream, her version of the American Dream is the Al Capone version of the American Dream, Tony Soprano version of the American Dream, and that is steal it from the taxpayers. And so there's a lot of stuff here, and so when somebody cloaks themselves in the American Dream, and so you have numbers like this from minus 1,000 to 30, 40 million, you know something is not right.
Yeah, and she's also like blaming people, bullying, doing race baiting, race bullying. There's no evidence, public evidence, there's even a winery. She valued it at $5 million. His investment firm is real. It's supposedly real. It's D.C.
And aren't you all tired of the race baiting? Every time they say something, you're either racist, you're phobic of some type. It's just ridiculous how they use prejudiced words to say that you're homophobic, you're Islamic phobic, you're all of these things, you're racist. And that backs up a lot of white people. Because a black man don't give a damn what you call him. If you're lying, you're lying. And we're not going to stop with it. But white folks, for some reason, when they throw out certain words, it make you tuck your tail and run and hide somewhere. You need to grow up, man. Get some balls. And stop letting these people do this to you. Throw out these cliches and all of a sudden it shuts you up. No. If you know what you know, continue to move forward and double down on what you know is true. And not let them shut you up with words like, oh, you're a racist. Oh, you're Islamic phobic. You against them. You against transgender. No, I ain't against nothing. Truth is truth.
Headquarters appear to share office space at a WeWork, Steve. There's no track record of his firm managing money, doing M&A deals. No clients we see, investment deals, or any work it's done. They say they do work in 80 nations operating in. There's no SEC registrations for them as investment advisors. What is going on here? This increasingly looks sketchy, both the winery and his investment firm.
Yeah, the winery.
There go that finger. Remember I told y'all about that finger before. There go that finger, fuck you. That's what she's doing. She's politely giving them a fuck you finger. That's what she's doing to all of America. Fuck you. We doing what we want to do. And that's enough. Catch me if you can. Well, we definitely on your trail to catch you, Ilhan the Khan.
May not exist, and the firm may be just really a name only, as you say, a WeWork office. Big deal. So that's why the investigation needs to be done. And suddenly all that $30 million, I think you're going to find, I'll make a speculation and prediction, that $30 million came from sources that are illegal, period.
Thank you so much, Steve Forbes, helping us to break it down. We're going to stay on this.
Anyway, let's continue this. Let's continue this on one last thing. But as we see, Ilhan is going to be in a lot of trouble. And I hope she get everything that she deserves. So let's go over here and look at this here. Let's go over here and look at this right quick. Let's go over here and look at this. My last little place here. Let's go over here and look at Miss Ilhan the Khan and the situation where this guy throws some type of liquids on her. Let's check this out and see what we got here when we come out of it.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face.
Think about this. Here it is. You at some type of town rally. Someone sprays something on you. And your first response is to go after them when you claim that you have got so many death threats and things of that nature. Does that seem to be the response of someone who have been threatened over and over again by death threats? I think what she should have did is turned and went the other way. Why would you come at someone who now is coming at you in a threatening way? Doesn't make sense to me. And then to go after him, not just stand there and let security do what they do. You go after the person yourself. Oh, you that tough? Okay.
I don't know.
And it smells terrible. Wait a minute. Okay, we hearing all of this commotion in the back. We hearing all these things said. But let's watch.
So bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know what that was. It's not about him, Ilhan. It's about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprays things. You need to go get checked. We're going to keep talking.
Now here it is. The man that sprayed something on you, you have no idea what he just sprayed on you. And your thing is to keep talking, and then you got these assholes there saying, yeah, let's keep. Nobody is saying, hey, no, you need to go and find out what the hell this is that's on you. But you continue? Make it make sense, people. You don't know what he sprayed on you. It's in your clothes. We clearly see it's some liquid substance. And you don't think you need to go immediately and get out of that he sprayed. You have got to be kidding me. Let's continue.
Here's the reality that people like this ugly men don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay and in the face of whatever they might throw at us.
You know she ain't black. Cause ain't no nigga would have stayed up there with that stuff sprayed on, with substance sprayed on them, and they don't know it. Ain't no way on God's green earth would a true black woman have stayed up there and say, oh no, we're gonna continue. What? And you don't know what's on you? Oh, maybe she knew it was apple cider. They say that's what it was.
Everybody settle down. I'm going to finish my remarks. It is important for me to continue to lead my Democratic colleagues in demanding her resignation. That if she was
All right, we don't need to see all that drama. They want to show you all the drama and stuff. They done cut from her now. Now they want to show you all this bullshit. And she and they're continuing with all this, with this substance still on her. Make it make sense, people. So now you have seen Ilhan the con, you've seen the Maryland dad, and go find out what them 34 felony counts that they charged Donald Trump with, say he was found guilty of. Go find out what they are. And as always, if you enjoyed the content that I've just presented, please like, subscribe, and share. Love you. Be kind one to another. Peace.